And welcome to another edition of South Texas Crossfire. This is Attorney Joe Flores reminding you to join us each and every week right here on KTMV with the Lopez family. Special thanks to Don Humberto Lozano Lopez. Merry Christmas to the Lopez family. And thank you, Carlos, for everything you do to make this happen. This show is going to be played in the new year, in January 2015, God willing. And so I'm honored to kick off our season in 2015 with your friend and mine, and somebody who won with a resounding victory and voice for county judge once more. He's been your mayor. And I'd like to introduce Judge Loyd Neal. Welcome.
Good morning, Joe. Thank you very much. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you, too.
And let me add my congratulations and thanks to Carlos as well. He's a great guy and has really become a really good friend of mine as well. Thank you.
Well, he supports you very much, and your campaign, you ran a great campaign.
Thank you.
Worked it really hard, and I was honored to interview you, on election night, and here we are again. Yeah. Just to kind of recap, that was a partisan election. It was hard, but yet you got crossover vote. I know that there's no Coca-Cola formula to the Loyd Neal victory, but what do you attribute your broad base of support from?
I think the fact that people looked at me for 8 years as mayor and they decided all across Nueces County and Corpus Christi looked at our record and the way we treated people, and we were very fair and we were nonpartisan completely when I was mayor, and I think people got used to me being a fair person and treating people fairly. And in my 8 years as county judge, we've hardly had any partisan issues before the court. Everything is an issue that is best for the public. And I've always had and enjoyed really great crossover support, Joe, from the Hispanic community and Democrats who are non-Hispanic. Some of them as well have looked at my record and said, this is a good guy. And I think that's had a lot to do with it. I'm very thankful. I learned a long time ago that if we're going to govern in Nueces County, we have to be mindful of everybody and everybody's concern, and so I just try to be everybody's county judge.
Well, and leading into that, we are looking at some very exciting times. Yeah. We were just talking before we started. I'm worried about my own hometown in Alice, Texas, because of the diversity that they lack sometimes. Yeah. They do have health care, but the oil patch has really risen in prominence, but now with the gas prices down, should we as Corpus Christians and here in Nueces County be worried about that kind of effect?
Well, I don't know yet. I talked to our county tax assessor collector, Kevin Kieschnick, just yesterday, and he told me that our collections on our taxes are about 3% ahead of where they were last year. So that to me is an indication that people at least have the money from this year to go ahead and get those taxes paid and get them actually paid a little bit earlier. I think that we're going to have to wait and see a few months. The price of oil is around $55 a barrel today. I don't know what it'll be the first of the year, but it won't stay down forever. I don't know when, but what we've done in Nueces County is we have, over the last 8 years, we've paid down a lot of debt principal. We've invested in people and technology. We've increased our fund balance. So we've been preparing for a downturn if it comes, and we've been preparing in such a way that we think that the lower the debt that you carry, the better off you are, whether you're an individual or county or government or a business. So we think we're in pretty good shape. I can't speak for the other governmental agencies, but I can tell you this: we are a very diversified economy in Nueces County. About a fifth of our economy is farming and ranching, about a fifth is the port, about a fifth is military, about a fifth is healthcare, as you well know, and about a fifth is tourism. And all of those have some impact on how we do things in Nueces County, but lower oil prices means more tourism. Lower oil prices probably means more business for the Port of Corpus Christi and the way they are importing or exporting fuel. So I think we're going to be better off. In the past recessions, you talked about a while ago off camera, 86. I can remember 86 hitting this community tremendously hard, but we were behind the rest of the country. It came to us later. We got out longer before we got out of it. But I think we're in much better shape now as a community than we were in '86, which is my really tough times in my life in Nueces County. So I think we're really going to be doing fine.
Well, you're looking at your last visit prior to your reelection. You were looking at the factories that are coming, domestic and foreign.
Right.
Would this downturn, which may cycle up, down, would that affect those investors, or are they pretty much locked in? We're talking.
No, I think they're locked in, Joe. You know, the Chinese pipe plant is just going gangbuster right now and trying to get themselves online as quickly as they can. M&G is progressing very rapidly. That's the Italian company. The Austrian company that's going to be building the steel over there in the Ingleside area, they're going big gangbusters. None of that depends on domestic oil prices that are foreign oil prices as we know it today. We approved at the Commissioner's Court here at the end of the year another tax abatement for a company that's going to be investing about about $400 million in the port. It has nothing to do with what the current oil prices are. So I think the diversification of our port, the diversification of our economy is really going to pay off for us. It will affect Texas. Oil prices going up or down always affects Texas because we're an oil or energy economy, but I think we're much better suited.
Well, and I know you focus a lot in on the workforce
Yes.
and our youth. The last time I think you said some words that rang very, very true with a lot of people that said if you work hard, are drug-free, and you go to the right programs for training, you will have a job.
I think that's still true. I was talking to the WorkSource president just today, and I don't know when this will air, but just today, and she told me they still have thousands of job opportunities in South Texas for those people who are retraining themselves, that remain drug-free, and that really want to work. And we've had a number of job fairs in the last month here that encourage veterans. They encourage people who have been out of work. They look at the young people coming into the workforce, and all of those things now are still ongoing in South Texas. And so far, they've not been really affected. Now, it may in the future, but so far they really have not been affected by the downturn.
What type of jobs are we looking at?
Mostly these jobs are still in the Eagle Ford Shell related area. A lot of construction jobs with M&G, with the Austrian steel plant, with the Chinese pipe plant, with Cheniere coming to build the conversion of natural gas into liquefied petroleum gas. All of those require skilled technicians. And all of those jobs are still to be filled because their construction is just ramping up. So we're looking at still having thousands of job opportunities here in Nueces County, San Patricio County over the next 3 years.
You know what concerns me is students that not everyone is set up to go, and I mean this. I mean, not everyone is set up to go to Texas A&M and study engineering or agriculture. Right. Some people have different talents, interests. Mm-hmm. Some of the most successful people have gone to junior college. Yeah. So I see a lot of people getting very debt heavy.
Well, the cost of, as you know, the cost of higher education is still great. And there will be bills in this session of the legislature that will try to deal with the tuition and fees at the various universities. The best bargain for higher education in this state are our 50 community colleges. And Del Mar College, we are so fortunate to have Del Mar College here in this South Texas area, along with the college in Beeville and South Texas College. All of those colleges, particularly Del Mar, offer such great opportunities for either a college path or a work path, or just furthering your own profession where you are, and the cost is so relatively low compared to what it costs even to go to Texas A&M Corpus Christi. But the quality of Del Mar College, if you want to work, if you want to get in the right courses to either progress along a career path or progress along a university path, they're there for you at Del Mar College, and it's open to everybody. Everybody can afford the tuition because they don't have to live on campus. They don't have to do anything else. They just have to come and learn and then be prepared to go to work.
And I hope it stays that way. I know there was some controversy about some comments made by a particular region, and Dr. Escamilla and I went to college together and over there at Del Mar.
Yeah.
And some people need that open admissions to get started.
Let me tell you, that particular comment, those particular comments by that region are so far off base. What we have in this community is a community college open to everyone who wants to apply and learn, and then put that learning to work in the form of a career or further their education or a job. We are not going to allow something like that to happen in this community, of trying to move people around and get them focused in one area. Del Mar College is there for everybody, and we need it to be there for everybody.
Well, very well said. We're going to be taking a break. We're here with Judge Loyd Neal, getting a taste of what to expect in 2015. Reassure us a little bit. I know things can be shaky out there. It's already hard enough out there, but as he said, if you're willing to work and you're a young person, or you want to get retrained and you're drug-free and you want to work hard, nothing is impossible. We're going to take a break. Judge Loyd Neal is here with us, educating us on what to expect in 2015. We'll be back.
Create an everlasting memory. With over 20 years' experience, Nueces Monuments can pay tribute to your loved one with kindness and compassion. Nueces County Monument specializes in benches, monuments, markers, pictures, faces, and much more. Layaway and no interest payment plans available. Accepted by all cemeteries, and home appointments are available. Call 361-452-2366 today. Nueces Monuments, creating everlasting memories for your loved one.
Hi, this is attorney and board certified nurse practitioner Joe Flores on behalf of Vasquez Flores Home Health. Nursing homes have their place, but having care in your own home is very important. Call today for more information. Backed by over 20 years of experience, registered nurse Priscilla Vasquez can answer your questions about home care. Call 881-9922. That's 881-9922 today.
Have you or a loved one suffered a stroke, heart attack, unexplained low blood pressure, or death during dialysis? The FDA has issued warnings and recalled the product Granuflo and Naturalite used in dialysis. At least one national company failed to warn the public that over 900 people had suffered cardiac arrest or death. A condition called metabolic alkalosis developed, which may have caused the harm. Call the law offices of Joe Flores today. With a combined 25 years of experience in the medical field and as a trial lawyer, Joe Flores can help. Call now.
And we're back after a brief break. Remember our sponsor, Nueces Monument. It's appearing in front of there, Nueces Monument. Whether you want to honor your loved one or put another tombstone, or, we've all lost somebody and we've all had loss in our life, but Nueces Monument can give you some closure. So we thank them for sponsoring us, and also Vasquez Flores Home Health, giving people a new lease on life, because if they want to stay home, nursing homes have their place, but having your autonomy and having somebody come in your home, that matters a great deal. We're here with Judge Loyd Neal, and we were finishing up talking about education. Then we're going to turn on healthcare and then construction and some other things. But welcome back, Judge.
Thank you. Thank you.
We left off on Del Mar College and the wonderful open admissions it has. I have a friend who has a daughter, very, very bright, studies dance, everything. But you know what? Instead of heading straight off to Ivy League, which she is very smart in doing, she's already taking college at Del Mar.
Sure.
In high school.
Right.
And I think a lot of kids need to look into that. And I wanted to touch on Moody High School as just one example of what kids can do. Moody High School, the Health Academy, there's an engineering too.
Yeah.
But that Health Academy, I saw, they were doing, on average, a lot better.
Right.
Than the statewide averages.
Right. That has been over there at Moody. As you know, Joe, it's been at Moody High School now for probably 8 or 10 years, along these different paths toward educating our kids toward career opportunities. But in the last 3 or 4 years, we've really seen that process and the way they're doing that really pay dividends, because you can now go to Del Mar College and get a dual certification or dual graduation. You know, they have high school students now at Del Mar that are going to high school and Del Mar College. If they finish the curricula correctly, then they get out of high school and come out of there with the 2 years of also credits for college education.
Awesome.
And it's a great program. But there are other great programs. Ray has the great program that they have for the international studies. The other high schools are really coming around. The area that you were talking about at Moody of directing these young people toward a medical profession or healthcare profession, this is so important to the future of Corpus Christi. I think you know I'm chairman of the board at Driscoll Children's Hospital, and we are always looking for really well qualified nurses, and we get a lot of those nurses from either Del Mar College or Texas A&M Corpus Christi, because their nursing programs are excellent. And if we can hire locally, we usually hire locally. We get some who transfer in from out of this area, but the majority of the nurses we hire either come from Texas A&M Corpus Christi or Del Mar College nursing program, because they're both really good programs. Just this week, Nueces County Commissioners voted unanimously to send a resolution to the new governor, Governor Abbott, and the legislature, encouraging Texas to find a way to accept the federal adult Medicaid expansion program that's already in a large number of states around this country. This is not Obamacare. This is an extension of Medicaid for adults, because in Texas, Medicaid either covers those in nursing homes, senior citizens, as you know, or children. The children are well covered in Texas, either through a HMO or the CHIPS program. But adults that fall through the crack that are not eligible for Nueces aid, which you and I pay for as a taxpayer, and there are about 8,000 of those in Nueces County that we pay for. If we could get Texas in some way to extend that Medicaid coverage to about 25,000 adults in Nueces County, then we believe as a court that we can move most of those Nueces aid covered people into the federal program of Medicaid expansion. Why is that important? Because we can lower your tax rate and they get good or better coverage through there. Now, Texas has resisted that for whatever reason. Hopefully our new governor is going to look at that differently, and hopefully the legislature will find a way, either through the Texas way or whatever other way. But it's so important that our court got on record unanimously endorsing this program and endorsing a resolution to go to the governor and the legislature, say, please find a way to help us, because we're sitting here with a growing uninsured population, adult population, in Nueces County and all across Texas. It's not getting smaller, it's getting bigger. So where are these people going? To emergency rooms, or not getting coverage at all. And so we need to fix that, and I hope they'll listen to us.
Well, I'm so glad you brought it up, because I know that people in Texas and around the South had some issues with Obamacare.
Mm-hmm.
This, to differentiate, what we're looking at is Medicaid expansion. People will say, well, isn't that the same? Isn't it just Abbott Care with a different name? How do you respond to that?
Well, it isn't, because the Medicaid expansion would be 100% paid for by the federal government the first 3 years of the program. And then after that, it ratchets down to where Texas has to participate, but never more than in the end than 50% in the out years. And I can understand the legislature's hesitancy and the governor's hesitancy to taking on new Medicaid debt, not debt, but expense, taking on more things. But from a standpoint of my responsibility and the responsibility of our commissioner's court, we have to look after the taxpayers of Nueces County. And we're already paying federal taxes that cover this program, and that money is going to some other state. And you're also paying a large share of your revenue every year to the hospital district to cover indigent care. And if we can reduce the indigents by definition and qualification in Nueces County by 3/4, then we can reduce the tax rate by 3/4 and save the taxpayers of Nueces County millions of dollars over a period of time if we can gradually go to this. Are there any offsetting costs in the federal government? Probably, but there are offsetting costs in federal government for everything right now.
Sure.
And we're not asking people to endorse Obamacare. We're asking the legislature to look at a federal program that expands adult Medicaid coverage for those people who qualify, that fit in the bracket, and it would be a great boon to us. And not just Nueces County, but counties all across Texas, Republican county judge, Democrat county judges all across Texas this year are coming together and saying, Governor, legislature, please find a way to do this, because our uninsured adult population is growing and the burden on the local taxpayers is growing, and we need to try to fix that, and this possibly could be a way to fix that.
So you're saying that you have heard from county judges in North Texas,
All over Texas.
East Texas,
South Texas.
and right here in South Texas.
Right.
So, one of the things that we've been trying to explore is to expand home visits, or even going to a person to deliver the care. I know there's some in there, house calls, and becoming the medical home. I think that's going to be very, very instrumental in saving money to the taxpayer too. But just very briefly, Spawn's movement of everything over. The only issue that I was really concerned with is if they closed, how's that clinic going? Is that still going to go through?
Oh, yeah.
Clinic?
Everything is on course. Everything's on course.
Good.
We're waiting on Christus to really present the formal plans and how they plan to do that. It's about a 5-year program, and they by signed agreement have said we can't close anything down at the old memorial until we have built it and staffed it over at the new portion of on Shoreline.
Good.
But it's on course. But it's a 2 or 3, 4, 5-year program, Joe. It won't happen day after tomorrow, and very little of it will happen in 2015.
Well, and in all fairness, when I brought Commissioner Gonzalez on, he got a lot of heat for voting along, and I asked him, why'd you vote? And he said, number one, I didn't want to pass on a burden to the taxpayer. And then number two, he said, with the assurances you just said, nothing would be closed. He was very concerned with the psych component, with everything going on, that veterans get that care. And I was concerned about that too. I just hope that they can accommodate. We're in trouble with the psychiatric stuff. Look what's going on in the world out there.
Well, it's still out. This whole discussion is still ongoing, and we still have not solved that problem to either Commissioner Gonzalez's satisfaction, or mine, or the court. And one of the things that I'm going to be personally working on at the end of this year and as we go into next year is making sure that the contractual provisions we have in there for serving the psychiatric needs of all the population, but particularly the Nueces care needs, the indigents in Nueces County, have to be met without putting an undue burden on the other hospitals or the for-profit hospitals. So we'll be working on that together for the next few weeks and months.
And I want to personally thank you for your work and efforts along with the Commissioner's Court on Diabetes World Awareness Day. That was a great proclamation that my wife helped push through, and it kind of shows that people that band together, everybody, the diabetes associations here in town, Star Flores, Dr. Castro, everybody got together, and that was a beautiful thing because people are getting screened.
We have about 1,000 residents of Nueces County now in the 1115 waiver program of the City County Health Department, the county program of the City County Health Department, for dealing with diabetes, getting people enrolled, screening those people, getting them in a program, and we're doing that through CBEC out at A&M Corpus Christi, which is a part of Texas A&M College Station. And they have the contract. It's over $1 million contract with Nueces County, and they have to deliver up to or about 1,000 different people involved in this program, and the commissioners and I insisted that we take this to the far reaches of the western part of the county, and we're doing that.
And I think that I talked to Dr. Castro a couple of months ago again, and I talked to the commissioner. I said, these people that live in the rural area, they cannot afford, even with RTA and everything, which does a great job, they can't afford to see a healthcare provider sometimes, or they're unable.
That's right.
And sometimes we got to go to them.
We are insisting this program be taken to the far reaches of the western part of Nueces County.
We touched on this, and I think people that are out there say, well, all these issues are fine and dandy. I went out to vote. I do my part, but how does all this impact me personally? A lot of people say, I'm not indigent, so I'm not going to worry about that. I'm not diabetic, I'm not going to worry about that. I've got a job, I don't have to worry about that. And you hear that all the time. Or worse yet, my vote doesn't count.
Well, let me tell you, your vote does count, and it has counted. What we've done in Nueces County, unlike some of the other governmental agencies, we've continued to reduce the property tax rate. We reduced it 2 cents this year for the hospital district, a penny, and the county, a penny. For the average taxpayer in Nueces County, over a period of years, that's a lot of money. We continue to invest in technology. We continue to pay down debt, which allows us, rather than taking your tax money and paying principal and interest on debt payments, if we reduce the debt principal low enough, then we can take that money, that delta, and move it over and either give it back in the form of a tax reduction, or we can use it for general fund operations, which continue to go up because healthcare goes up and other things go up. And we could use it there without impacting the tax rate. This court's a very good steward of the money. I'm probably one of the hardest guys in Nueces County to get a dollar out of once we've drawn a box and said, this is your budget. And we have been auditing a lot of the various entities in Nueces County to make sure they're following the policies and procedures and taking care of the taxpayers' money. And we'll continue to do that. So I think everybody in this county, whether you voted for me or didn't vote for me or didn't vote, have a vested interest in county government. We only collect about 18% of the total tax burden goes to Nueces County and the hospital district. If we can continue to lower that, then that allows money to be freed up from all the taxpayers, hopefully not to go up in other areas, but we're doing our part in the county to keep the rates low, to reduce debt, and to try to make sure that we're investing and taking care of the county's taxpayers' money, because it's your money, it's not our money.
And everybody's a taxpayer that owns property,
that's right.
Pays sales tax.
We don't get any sales tax. City does, but we're certainly dependent upon the property tax.
Exactly, and the property tax. And we've got a couple of minutes wrapping it up there. What would you like to tell them? You've got another 4 year to get it done.
I'm very pleased and honored. We laugh all the time. I renewed the lease on my corner office up there, but I am so pleased. We have a great team. We're getting a new commissioner on board in January. Commissioner McComb is off the court, as you know, and Brent Chesney's coming on to succeed him in Precinct 4. I think Brent will be a team player. Oscar and Joe are really good team players. We get along 99% of the issues. And the part that we don't, we try to do it in a proper way. You don't hear any screaming or yelling or anything coming out of this court. We sit there like gentlemen and agree or disagree. And I think the taxpayers in Nueces County can count on us to continue along that path. We're going to be building a new bridge. Hopefully that new Harbor Bridge contract is going to come to fruition in late spring, early summer. And they can begin construction by the end of this year or early next year. It's a 4 or 5 year project. What a great project for South Texas. The port continues to do well and to invest. The new outlet mall in Robstown is under construction. They're moving a lot of dirt over there. People said that'll never happen. It's happening. And that's very, very good. All the new construction, industrial construction, is going to be ongoing for the next 2 or 3 years in this area. I would say to you and all the taxpayers in Nueces County, the Nueces County Commissioners Court is doing our part to govern effectively and efficiently and recognize that we can't spend more money than we have, and we don't spend any money that we don't have because it's your money.
Well, I'm glad you came on, and it gives me some reassurance in a world where there's not a lot of reassurance that you're watching our budget and watching out for our concerns.
Trying to.
Yeah, Judge Loyd Neal. Experience matters. That's right. Yeah.
Thank you.
Judge Loyd Neal will be coming on again. When's your the State of the County?
We just picked the date. It's March. I think it's March the 5th. We just picked it this week.
I think Dave will be around there to get that.
We're working with Hispanic Chamber again, and I believe we picked March the 5th, but I just did that this week.
We'd love to have you on afterward, and we'd love to, if Hispanic Chamber would allow, get a few clips from there. That way, those that can't attend the State of the County get an idea, because it does matter. You guys need to get involved. Attend County Commissioner's Court. Come see Judge Neal.
Yep.
The State of the County is going to be a very good snapshot of what to expect.
It is, and I'm beginning to put that together now, and there are a lot of good things we want to talk about and a lot of challenges as we enter the legislative session. But I hope everybody will come out and support that and be interested in what I've got to say.
So we're in good shape right now. I really believe that. I think the city's moving forward. I think the counties around us are moving forward. We're doing a lot of good things, but we have to stay together and work together and keep our eye on where we want to be. I just want to remind you of one thing. When I said earlier, we caught the car. And now it's up to us to make sure that everything we do over the next few years is to maximize what we're doing as a region. Forget about boundaries and all the other things. How can we do this together? And I think we'll be very successful.
And the date again is in March.
I believe it's March 5th, Joe, but I don't hold me to
We'll
that.
be posting
Yeah,
that
yeah.
as the time draws near.
Yeah.
We'll be letting everybody know on KTMB. That way, if you want to attend, because it's your dollar. Yeah. It's your future. It's your children's future. And Judge Loyd Neal is trying to help out with that. So we're out of time, but we want to thank you again, Judge, for coming on.
Thank you, Joe. Thank you again.
We're out of time. Thank you, and God bless.